should not take too long. So it is 11 o'clock, and to respect everyone's time, because everyone is very busy, we'll just get into it. And I hope everyone is doing okay. Here's a disclaimer. All the estimates that we're going to provide today are tentative and subject to change based on the actions of the governor or state legislature. So we're providing the budgets as tradition is around this time of year, so that all the sites can prepare their budgets for the upcoming year and make their staffing patterns. So this is the sources of revenue for LTCT. Statewide net operating expense is $8,969. The slot counts, which everyone verified, and our state school fund amount is net operating expense times slot count comes out to 18 million. And as of right now, with the latest information we have, the general fund for LTCT for 17-19 will be 18.9 million for the biennial. So what we're doing is we're going 9 million for 17-18, 9.9 million for 18-19 of the general fund. Because the second year, cost of living and so forth. So that's why for 18-19 of the second year of the biennial, you have an extra 0.9. So that's how we're allocating it. So with that information, with the 8 million plus the 9 million, we have 17,036,224 available for 17-18. Okay, so with everyone's salaries at 100%, the total amount needed is $25 million. And as we showed, we don't have 25 million. So with 17 million divided by 21, that is 66%. And everyone has to remember now, for 17-18, we shifted from asking the teacher and EA salary from 75 to 100%. So not everybody has teachers and EAs at that 100% level. So for 17-18, we're going to prorate everybody at 67% because that's the amount of income that we have. Now, when we calculated, the 17-18 amount is 1.8 million below the 16-17 MSL amount. So as I stated earlier, as a reminder, 17-18 MSL amounts are at 100% of the teacher EA rate. Previously, they were at the 75% level. So, and then that's the thing, we don't have that amount of revenue. Like we're sending out all of our revenue. Now, the calculation and assumptions. Funding for the 5% emergency fund will come out of the unexpended, unspent 15-17 biennial state school fund amount. So that's why we're asking everybody to use your general fund first and use the state school fund amount last. And instead of reserving 5% of 17-18 funds, we decided to send out as much money as possible. So we will not be withholding 5% of 17-18 revenue. We're sending it all out. And for the 5% emergency fund, we're going to take that out from the expected carryover. Also, the OD administrative costs will not come out of the 17-18 income. It'll come out of our carryover. So we're going to send out into the LTCT grants, no longer contracts, but grants, 100% of the 17-18 income. So for us, we realize that it is a risky business on ODE's part to anticipate a large carryover, but we feel, and some of our sites have voluntarily stated to us that some carryover will be sent back. So we're banking on that. So that's why instead of taking additional 5% out of the 17-18 and taking our administrative costs, we felt by doing this, it'll help by taking our admin costs and the 5% emergency out of the out of the carryover. It'll help, alleviate some of the pain, but not all of the pain that some of you may encounter. Now, for MSL, remember, one full-time teacher assigned to each LTCT classroom. The remaining MSL funds can be used at the discretion of the grantee for the educational expenses of the LTCT classrooms. So in other words, the formula is you get the allocation is the salaries of a teacher, 2 EAs plus 15%. The only requirement is to have a full-time teacher. How you want to use the remaining funds, whether you want to hire the EAs or not, that's up to you, and so forth. And then I think last week or the other week, I was at another site, and they were thinking because we can't, we don't have the funds to expand. Another site was saying they'll sell their EA positions and hire a classroom teacher instead of filling those EA positions. That is totally fine. If you need to go, if your site needs to add additional classrooms, but then we can't fund those additional classrooms, if you wanted to do that, that's totally fine. But then keep us in the loop, and please discuss that with us. And then here, and this is a hard date because it's electronic and it's an EGOM. 1814 is the final date for submission of claims for 1516 and 1617 in EGOM. Before with invoices, some people would submit it later, but because it's an EGOMS, it's electronic. I think after that, the funds will get liquidated. So please ensure all your claims are submitted by August 14, 2017, and that will also help us to determine what our carryover is. Any questions? Oh, and any questions? And I will email you, everybody, this PowerPoint, the link to the YouTube video with your with your grant amounts. And I'm going to pull up the grant amounts right now. But you will be emailed this as soon as I return to my desk. So here's the spreadsheet. The formula is classrooms times salary. The formula here is EAs times EA salary. The formula is, the EA salary, teacher salary times 15%, and that's the MSL total. And then this formula is the MSL total times 67%. Again, this will be emailed out to everybody in about half an hour. And I'm going to go into to view the chat questions. Yes, someone asked, does the Excel spreadsheet reflect only one fiscal year, 17-18? Yes, it is only one, it's only 17-18. And I'm going to unmute everybody to see if there's any verbal questions. Does anyone have questions? Okay, I think I'm gonna mute everybody because I hear background noise or music.
Where's the chat room?
Okay. Any other questions, either via chat or via phone? Okay. Okay. Okay, so a question, just to be clear, each classroom supported for one teacher, 1 EA. It is, you're funded at 1 teacher and 2 EAs plus 15%. Now, whether you have 2 EAs in each classroom, that is up to each site. Next, do the amounts include the 15%? Yes, the 15% are included. Okay, so someone said, okay, so I'll explain everything again because someone asked, because they came in late. This is our state sources of revenue. Net operating expense times slot equals 8 million. Our tentative budget as of right now is 18.9, so 9 million for 17-18, 9.9 for 9 million, 9.9. So we have 17 million available revenue. And remember, these are all tentative and subject to governor and the actions of the legislature. So here, if you divide, our MSL model came out to 25 million. And if you divide 17 by 25, it comes out to 77% or 76%. And everyone has to remember that for 17, it was at 100% of the teacher's salary, no longer at the 75% level. And out of the carryover, that's where we're going to take out the 5% emergency fund and OD administrative costs. So we are trying to send out as much money to the sites as possible. We're not holding anything back. It's a big risk that we're taking, but it's a good risk because everyone is saying that we're asking everyone to spend what you need to spend, but don't spend just for the sake of spending. Any other questions? And everyone is unmuted. Okay, if there's no other questions, thank you everybody. I'll send this PDF in about after lunch because I have the YSEP webinar and JDEP and YSEP webinar at 12 p.m. And after that is then I'll send out these attachments. Okay, thank you everybody for participating. Have a good day. Bye-bye.